The Russian invasion of Ukraine continues, and I want to get everybody up to speed there before we move on to other things. And as always, when we say we have a report of something, that's what we mean. We have a report of something, and we always are waiting for, hoping for confirmation of more details. And just something important to keep in mind when there are assertions made in the fog of war, sometimes the truth ends up being slightly different. And that is certainly what Russia is hoping for because of an absolutely disastrous headline: 60 people killed after bomb hits school. Volodymyr Zelensky, the Ukrainian president, says. This is a BBC report. Around 60 people were killed after a bomb hit a school in East Ukraine, says President Zelensky. Earlier, the governor of the Luhansk region, Serhiy Haidai, said 90 people had been sheltering in the building and 30 were rescued. Mr. Haidai said a Russian plane dropped the bomb on Saturday. Russia has not commented. Luhansk has seen fierce combat as Russian troops and separatist fighters seek to surround government forces. Much of the region has been under the control of Russia-backed separatists for the past 8 years. Now, that detail is much of what's being used to say Russia would never do this. That's a region their separatist fighters have been in for so long. But if we've learned one thing in the last few weeks, it's even things that lots of people say Russia would never do, then Russia does. And so I don't think we can go by that at all. We also are waiting sort of anxiously to figure out what is it that might happen on Russia's so-called Victory Day today, May 9th. And by the time that today's episode goes live, you may know more about this than we know right now. An NBC News article asks, what does Putin have planned on Russia's Victory Day? Experts say that after 2 months of thwarted offensives, Putin is left with limited options, from an all-out mobilization to simply declaring victory in the eastern Donbas region. Now, that's an interesting idea that's being brought up, which is we don't know Putin's emotional state. We don't know, again, increasingly more and more reports about Putin's ill health. We don't know whether he is sort of in some kind of unhinged last attempt at reconstructing the Soviet Union in some kind of idealized way. We just don't know what he is capable of and interested in. But one idea that would be a face-saving idea, absent a victory so far when it comes to Ukraine at large, would be to say, hey, you know what? We did it, in the sense that we've now really solidified control of the eastern Donbas region. And even though we didn't take Kyiv and some other places further into Ukraine, pointing west from Russia, really this was the goal, and we did it, and we won. We took the Donbas region. And of course, it wouldn't be completely true, but it would at least be more true than they took all of Ukraine, which certainly Russia has not done. So that would be a kind of face-saving way for Putin maybe to start kind of backing up. But again, we just don't know. A few other interesting notes from the article, which says Monday is shaping up to be a pivotal day for Ukraine. Known as Victory Day in Russia, May 9th is a national holiday commemorating the Soviet Union's defeat of Nazi Germany in World War II, typically marked by an elaborate military parade in Moscow's Red Square, surveyed by senior Kremlin officials. So a little North Korea-like, yes, for sure. Western officials have voiced concerns that Putin will use the occasion to officially declare war on Ukraine, which Russia invaded in February. Experts say that after more than 2 months of thwarted offensives, Putin is left with limited options, as I said, an all-out mobilization, or simply declaring victory in the eastern Donbas region. Now, on the declare war thing, we talked a little bit about declare war last week during a live stream. As this article restates, Putin spokesman Dmitry Peskov denied that a war declaration was imminent, insisting the invasion remained a, quote, special military operation. That may be a nominal difference, as the article points out, since Russia has mobilized air, ground, and naval forces across vast areas of Ukraine. But declaring war would allow Putin to call up additional army reservists and more people, and could prolong this for certainly months, if not years. So at the end of the day, We don't know what is coming in the next 24 hours. By the time today's episode is out, you may know more than I know right now, and we'll follow up on that tomorrow. But no matter what, I mean, in the best case, where Putin says we won in the sense that we got Donbass, there are going to be hostilities months or years for sure. And what this means for the people of Ukraine can't possibly be particularly good. So we're going to make an effort this week to make sure we stay on this story. There have been so many other things that have happened in the last month at the same time as there has been a sort of continued steady level of hostilities in Ukraine, which often, when things become normalized, like, for example, kids dying of hunger every day all over the world, it becomes less of a corporate news grab because corporate news stories tend to have a nice, clean beginning, middle, and end. And if we just remain in the middle for a long time, sort of like happened with COVID, as I said, happens with hunger around the world, it starts to come out of the news. And that's something we're going to try to push back against.